What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and it's New Release Saturday. Today we're going to be diving into a Disney Plus original film entitled Crater, starring Isaiah Russell Bailey, McKenna Grace, Billy Barrett, Orson Hong, Thomas Boyce, Michael Papajohn, and Hero Hunter. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's New Release Saturday, and today we're going to take a look at a Disney Plus original film entitled Crater. And our movie takes place in the year 2257, and humans have mined the moon for years, searching for resources, following the failure to colonize it. Miners are forced to work for 20 years before they are allowed to take a shuttle to colonize another planet called Omega. Now, should someone die before their allotted years are filled, their next of kin must fill out the remaining years plus their own 20 if they are over the age of 18. When Caleb Channing's father, Michael, dies in a mining accident, he is told that he is being sent to Omega per his father's last will and testament, as he is under 18. Now, Caleb doesn't want to leave, as his father has left him a map to a crater on the moon that he promised to go see. Nevertheless, he has 3 days before he is to be taken away. Caleb gets his best friend Dylan and their friends, Borny and Marcus, to agree to go out to the crater in a rover. In order to do so, Dylan recruits Addison Weaver, the daughter of a highly respected scientist from Earth, in order to give them the passcodes needed to leave the base. However, Addison only agrees on the condition that she gets to come along as well. The five take the rover and drive out on the surface of the moon before stopping to admire the view. Now, during their journey, each one of the kids reveal things about themselves, such as Borny's neurotic tendencies being the result of his older brother telling him stories, Marcus having a heart condition that he needs to take pills for, and Dylan revealing that his father nearly abandoned him and his mother due to his work in the mines. As they play with the oxygen canisters in a game of launch, Borny nearly gets launched into space, but the other kids are able to rescue him. Having lost a lot of oxygen, they locate an outpost and head there, only to discover that it is actually a model home for when the moon was going to be lived on. The kids find oxygen and food, and they spend the night there. Addison regales Caleb with stories about Earth history and her fear of humanity losing it all to time. Now, following her parents' divorce, her mother decided to take her younger brother, Charlie, with her to Omega, saddening Addison. The kids then take the rover out the next day, only for it to run out of battery. Addison presses the emergency call button before they head out to the crater. The kids arrive at the crater only to discover that it is a giant, glowing cube that is an entrance to an underground bunker containing a pond and a tree. They find a hidden button, and the bunker simulates the surface of planet Earth. Caleb finds his mother's ashes and a photo of his parents, so he places his father's ashes next to his mother's. Caleb then comes to the realization that his father killed himself so that he could go to Omega. Caleb then begins to refuse to leave, but Dylan tells him that he must go. Marcus then suddenly collapses from his heart condition, and the kids are forced to take him back to the rover, only for a meteor storm to come. They manage to make it back, but Dylan is knocked unconscious during the ordeal, and the front window of the rover is broken, forcing the kids to continue wearing their oxygen suits. Caleb manages to make peace with Dylan as their oxygen runs low and rescuers come. Caleb then awakens only to discover that he has already been taken to Omega, devastated that he never got to say goodbye to his friends. He is given a recording device, and he learns that his friends are all okay, and that they were allowed to send a message to him once a year during Caleb's 75-year journey to Omega. Caleb learns that Marcus started a baseball team and that Addison started a strike in order to improve the contracts for the miners. They succeeded with Borney becoming the lead administrator. Dylan and Addison eventually got married, had kids, and later grandkids, and Caleb then comes across Addison's little brother, Charlie, and the two of them share stories with each other as our movie comes to its end. If I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I had no idea what I was going into with this movie. You see, I have a website that I go to religiously as I begin to prepare what I'm going to do for each month. And it tells me what movies are coming out, whether they're going to be theatrical or streaming, if they're streaming, where they're going to be streaming on, whether it's Disney Plus, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Apple One, etc. And I peruse these websites, maybe once a week or every couple of weeks just to see what gets added to the list so that when I go and I plot my course for each month, I know what I'm going to do for new release Saturday. I felt like I had been going to the theater quite a bit in the last couple of months, so I wanted to try to focus on more streaming original movies this time. And I discovered this movie was going to be coming out called Crater. We subscribed to Disney Plus. Okay. Read the synopsis, read the cast list. Okay, sounds like a fun kids movie. Sat down, started watching it. And immediately I got sucked in by this story about the colonization of the moon and mining the moon for its resources, and the fact that the miners that essentially volunteer and are signed up for this are immediately locked into 20-year deals. And if you don't finish this contract, if you don't fill out your 20-year deals, your next of kin has to fill it out for you and do their own 20. And I'm like, man, this sucks. And so you then learn about Caleb and how he's got this way out. But he doesn't want to take it out of loyalty to his friends. And his friends kind of like pushing him like, hey, you have to get out of this situation. You're not going to get another opportunity. And so they go out and they have fun and they bond. And the Addison gets brought into the group via circumstances, because she knows the passcodes and everything. And she's just kind of looked at this loner on the moon and in their system because she's still kind of new. And I honestly thought the story, the way everything came together, the pieces fitting into the puzzle, was really well done. For not knowing a whole lot about the movie and not really knowing where it was going to go or if I was even going to like it, I could have been sitting here talking about how horrible this movie was and God, I regret sitting through it. And thankfully, that's not the situation. Disney, more often than not, has always found a way to appeal to me in my heart and my soul. And even some of the stuff that comes off as their weaker offerings, something about it still kind of gets to me. And this movie delivered that. There's all this controversy going on right now with Disney Plus and how they're striking a bunch of content as cost-cutting measures. And is that content ever going to resurface on Disney Plus? Is it going to resurface on Hulu? Is it going to be subcontracted to something like Netflix? Will they go and release it on physical media so that the people that actually like it can buy it and have hard copies in their library? Or is it going to be something that us physical media collectors have to go bootleg on because Disney, for whatever reason, just wants to leave that money on the table? Okay, maybe it's not getting the peak ratings on the platform, but if you had X amount of people that watched it when it debuted and the weekly episodes that dropped on the channel, since Disney does their stuff usually like an actual TV network, and each week is a new episode. And if you got the viewers on that stuff, then there was an interest at some point. Maybe it just doesn't have the rewatchability factor, but that's where things like your Disney Movie Club comes in. You put it on physical media, you offer it through the club, and people that really want it can get it. And the people that don't want it, they don't get it. But if they really want it and they're not already a member of the Disney Movie Club, then they're going to join the club so they can get that because they want it bad enough. And then those numbers are going to go up. You see what I mean? Like there's a lot of controversy surrounding the Disney Plus platform right now, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. We're talking about Crater. And Crater, I felt, was a solid story with a great cast of up and coming child actors. And I highly recommend that if you haven't seen this movie yet on Disney Plus, give it a watch. Whether you do it on your own or you do it as like a family movie night and bring your kids to watch it, because it's a very kid-centric story. I think you guys will enjoy it. I enjoyed this movie so much that I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. Again, I thought that the cast was promising. I think a lot of the kids have got great futures ahead of it. And I look forward to bigger and better things from them all over the course of the next 5 to 10 years as they go from teenagers into adults. What did you guys think of Crater, those of you that have seen it? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in later on this evening, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media as we present another episode of the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. Myself, the Simple Man Noah Foster, the West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham, the Heat Man James Hebert will all be in attendance, as well as anybody else from the normal extended family that wants to come into the studio and discuss the week of professional wrestling. And then tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be time once again to step into the war zone. That's right, it'll be time for another edition of the Weekly Acquisition Report, the show where I, the Renegade, show you, the viewers, the latest additions to my ever-growing movie library. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, Warzone, and then we've just only begun our month of Johnny Depp coverage. You don't want to miss out on any of the reviews coming your way right here on Renegades Reviews. So make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Open Mic Night, Statboy Sports Bar, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Disney movies, fans of Disney Plus original movies, fans of kid-centric stories. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content, this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in today, It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.